Nice to have you back, sweetie.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long trip to Stockholm. Just for a bloody passport.
Yeah.
What a trip it was, but the drive was nice up until the coast, which is the longer part of the drive, and then it's kind of just a boring motorway all the way down to Stockholm for the last 3.5, 4 hours maybe. In total it's supposed to be just under 9 hours, but when I got to Stockholm, of course, there's traffic, and it's the first time I was in that city, and I had to get to the southern part of the city coming from the north, so I knew that I was going to have to navigate some part, and goodness me, there was a lot of roadworks going on, so...
Oh, okay, yeah, that doesn't help.
It was very confusing.
It was dark, of course, by the time you got there.
No, it was fine, actually.
Ah, okay, yeah, you left pretty early, so...
Yeah, no. It wasn't dark. It started to get dark. And then, by the time I got to the hotel, it was dark. That's true. So by the time, because it was so, I arrived in Stockholm, it was still light, but because it took so long in Stockholm, just driving so slowly, and every turn you took, you're in a traffic jam. So they seem to be trying to figure it out, building tunnels underneath everything and bridges, but at the same time they're repairing bridges, and so there's lots of deviations, detours and whatnot. And well, as a newbie with a GPS is not sure about the latest construction work, I got lost a few times. Lost. I had to keep going around because I had to find a bridge that I was allowed to go over to get to that southern part. Because it is a couple of islands. Like the old city is on an island in between. I guess it's a river.
Okay, so it's like Strasbourg then.
Yeah, and Paris. Paris also built on that. So on an island, or the OG, the OC, the original city.
We'll have some complaints. No, it's not.
No, exactly.
This city is the original.
Yeah. So that was it was really nice, and then because it was dark, it was not the best time to go and explore the city, but I still tried. I still went to the old part of town, and it was really nice with the nice lights, making everything look very cozy. Yeah.
Did they have Christmas lights up yet?
They were up, but they were not on yet. That was actually in the more modern part of the city. I only drove through that. I didn't come back to that. So maybe they switched them on later. Yeah, okay. They were hanging up, in the shopping streets. But they were certainly getting ready for it. Not as much as up here yet. No, no. There's quite a few houses that have got their Christmas lights hanging up and on in the morning when I take the girls to school. There's lots now. Yeah. So all in all, nice city. The olden part was really nice, cobblestone streets and very hilly, just really cozy. Narrow streets here. Yeah, that's lots of narrow streets actually. Yeah. Lots of nice places to eat and have drinks, bars, and little touristy street. Where you can buy all your what is it, touristy stuff? Souvenirs, exactly. And lots of international languages going around. Quite a bit of Dutch and Flemish, and then there was quite a bunch of English. I had one complain because it was raining yesterday morning. They said, "This is the kind of weather I left behind the car." It's like, well, should have gone to Spain then, mate. Of course, jokingly with his friends. But coming from the north here, it was really cold, and down there it was like 10 degrees. Yeah, quite warm. It was almost too warm with a body warmer on. It didn't convince me to move back to the city, though. Oof, no, I could imagine. But if there was a city, then I think that would be a nice city. It looked really good for kids, and really nice area where I was. But then I thought, then you need a job to fund all that lifestyle. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's very expensive to live there. Yeah, so and that's the thing you want to avoid, of course. So for now we're good here, and like I was saying to you on the phone as well, but you're hardly worried about your kids. You can just let them, especially here, of course, at home, just let them run outside, but also in town. Yes. Where over there, I'd really be worried a lot more.
Yeah,
about
you'd
him.
want to know where they were at all times
Yeah.
and have eyes on them. And
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there were really the play areas and another football field that really high fencing around it and everything in the middle of town. And,
that's good then.
It seems like they planned it well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we are forced to ever move to a city,
That will be on the list.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it could be quite nice. Yeah, it could be a nice place. I wouldn't want to go back to Luxembourg because we already know it.
Yeah.
Then Stockholm is nice to have a different city, for example, to try out. Yeah, so on the way back, well, because there was trouble with my passport, because the photo wasn't exactly to the millimeter. They give a little bit of give and take, but it was just too small. I was not even within those boundaries.
Okay.
And so the computer said no. Yeah, we had to try. He was super nice guy, was helping. He kept trying because he, of course, also knew I was, had a 9-hour drive. I was staying overnight, spending 2 days in Stockholm just to do that.
Yeah.
And he really tried his best, but in the end he said, I have to send you to the local photographer, which they recommend. He says, you'll be surprised how many people I send here. You're not the only one. I sent so many people to that guy. So I came there and I said, I heard I'm not the first one. He goes like, no, that's for sure. And he goes, there was even a guy here recently. He got his picture taken in Amsterdam thinking that would suffice. And it wasn't. So he also came here even
Goodness.
to get it done. And thankfully that did work, that picture. But I had to go back, and he said he was really busy. Luckily enough, though, there was a lady before me with a baby, and the baby's face was also not correct in the picture. So the poor woman also had to go to a photographer. She also had driven quite a way, I heard. And I was thinking to myself, not as long as me. Take your baby to the photographer. But thanks to this lady's mishap, he was able to see me.
Yeah, thank goodness, because
schedule.
to have to do that all over again.
Yeah, that meant that I would have to come back all the way again.
Yeah.
Just to do that.
And it's expensive trip, You've got your petrol, your accommodation, your food. And
Yeah, filled up the car twice. Accommodation, you can find cheap options. It was okay, actually, what I found in the end, with a breakfast as well. So that was fine. But... yeah, exactly. The food, if you want to go for dinner and stuff like that, poof, you certainly pay high prices very quickly.
Yeah.
So.
But it seems to have all worked out fine, so fingers crossed. Because
I left late, I was driving to the dark most of the way. That was a bit of a shame, but unavoidable. And so one major accident on the way back
really?
through the forest. I forgot to tell you that yesterday.
Yeah.
It was quite a few. I was talking to you, but there was many lorries. A lot of them were these wood hauling lorries, and logs.
And were they carrying logs down, or
no? They were empty.
Yeah, okay, so they were coming back to get filled up again. I did
not see one that was full.
Okay.
But so I was behind two of them. And then suddenly there was a car on the right warning us of something. And then, everybody slowed down. We drove around it. And there was in a steep ditch, because here in Sweden every road has the deep ditches because where they shove the snow in. And there was one of the same logging truck right in the ditch.
Oy.
And this was an extra deep one. So they were there with... one of these tow trucks trying to get out bit by bit. They had gotten one because I think it had two
sections.
Yeah, plus the front, of course.
Right.
So 3 in total. And it seemed like one they had taken out already, and they were working on the second one, getting that out.
What a job.
Yeah, and that guy, it was, like I say, I would say at least a 3-meter deep ditch into the woods. So, but they were all standing there. I think he must have been okay. And then close to home, half an hour from here, I passed Wilhelmina. Was another little van, white van, also in the ditch.
Oh, goodness.
But that was just from a side road connected coming to the main.
Yeah.
And he literally was in the ditch that way. So it seemed like he had just not been paying attention, driving along, la-di-da, boof, in the ditch.
Okay, well.
So there was just one guy there working to get the van out. So
and was that, because we had a lot of rain yesterday, were you Did you drive through a lot of rain at that time then?
Yeah, that was okay. Wasn't too bad. It was just on and off. Mostly it wasn't rain, but wet roads. But there was some parts in the last hour where it was because so much rain had fallen that there was kind of a bit aquaplaning going on. It's just in the grooves. Of
some of the tires. Yeah. I was a bit worried about that when I was bringing the girls home from school.
Yeah, some parts I had to really slow down. Really take it easy.
Yeah, because you really feel the car get pushed back, like slowed down by the pressure of the water on the road.
Yeah, and in corners I was also a bit worried, but luckily enough we have the spikes already on the tires on the car, so that was good. Yeah, so, and you've missed me here and the girls?
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's the extra pair of hands makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you had to do everything alone with a huge belly.
Yeah, just took my time.
Okay.
Tried not to do too much during the day so that I would have enough energy at the end of the day to go and pick them up and make dinner and take them to bed and stuff like that. So, it went okay. It went fine. They were on their best behaviour, even though they were tired and a bit... moaning and crying. Yeah. They were still really good. They were good girls. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really missing you guys as well. To go for dinner by myself was really weird.
Yeah. It's not something you ever really did.
Never.
It was to go for dinner by yourself.
I mean, I have done it sometimes, maybe a lunch, when I was working at the office. Done it several times. But I'd sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Have a beer.
Yeah, chat to the staff.
Exactly. And I knew I would go to a place where I knew the people mostly. So here you're in a strange city and then you go for dinner by yourself. But of course I know loads of people do it.
Yeah.
But for me it was really strange. And then the worry started when I was thinking about back in those days where, I'll find a place where there's a bar, maybe TV, so I can watch some sports and not look at my phone and stare at that all the time, or just stare into space, thinking very deeply. Then I started to worry about what if I sit at the bar, then I'm going to have the thoughts of wanting a beer. And I really started to want to have a beer, thinking about it, and it started to become this thing. And I had been fanning about. I walked 5 times about the similar bar that looked nice and had burgers and had the TVs, which I looked online.
Like a natural attraction.
And then I thought at the end, just go to the old town, go to the old part, find another place, find something cozy, And who knows, maybe you get to chat to some locals. And I went to find a burger place, and then I passed a Vietnamese restaurant, and I thought to myself, why am I going to a burger place? I had so many burgers. We worked in a burger bar, a sports bar. What's and I know a bit of Swedish food as well now, so I wasn't really into that, because there was a place doing just meatballs, 6 for over $20.
What?
I know. I don't know how big these meatballs must have been. So pricey.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, you could have 6. 6 was the minimum. Okay. 6, 9, 12.
Right.
6 for 200. So the prices were just... okay, you know what? I know meatballs, I get it.
Yeah, then I'd rather just get them at IKEA.
That's the cheapest you can possibly get.
I don't know how cheap they are, 50 kronor or something.
Something ridiculous. And so... so then I decided, you know what, and as I walked past that burger joint as well, it was full of people enjoying their beers with their burgers. And I thought, you're just going to be staring at that. Yeah. Let's go to that Vietnamese place. And it was a nice, small place, and it was absolutely delicious, really fresh. A bit like Thai food, but tasted much fresher.
You don't remember what it was called?
The place?
Yeah.
Congo.
Congo, okay.
Congo or Kong? I took a video when I was out there.
Okay.
Well.
Excuse me.
So we can look it up.
Yeah, nice.
Really good.
I'd love to see it.
Yeah. So spoke to the waitress there. She was very nice. Helped me out. Her dad was English, so we ended up speaking English. But she was impressed with my Swedish, so that was nice. Now people started to know us as speaking English. I was just in the DIY shop here. And she immediately started speaking English to me.
Really?
Even though in the past I spoke in Swedish to her. It's a bit of she's got grey hair, a lady working there.
Oh, grey
In the past I've always spoken Swedish to her. Yeah, she's helped me out a few times
Right,
now.
okay. It's usually young chicks that are there when I'm there.
Yeah, okay. Well...
Okay.
So,
so they know us.
Yeah, we've got the look. Well, Yes, that was really nice. Yeah, so that was a bit of the what we were talking about. Yeah, going for dinner by yourself. So then I spend a bit of time on my phone, spend a bit of time, well, just eating, of course. And, it was quite an interaction thing, wrapping nice marinated pork into salad leaves and putting your own herbs in and other bits of strips, julienne style almost, for carrots and some other root vegetable. It's delicious.
Yeah, sounds lovely, because then you can put in as much or as little of each thing as you like, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, good experience. It was really lovely. People were lovely. Yeah, really good time in Stockholm, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just a very long trip for one night.
Yeah, it's a lot of driving, and especially by yourself.
Yeah, the way back was especially boring.
Yeah.
The way there was all right. I could take my time. It was still a little bit exciting in a way.
But then on the way back, you just want to be home.
Yeah, 5 hours driving in the dark. Not that exciting.
That was, how much was it in total? It was about 9 hours in total, right?
Yeah, on the way back, I think just managed under 9 hours, including, I think, even eating and stopping for food. So yeah, no, did really well with that. Glad to be back.
Yeah.
And worried about you. And
yeah, of course. If I'm going to pop.
Yeah. I wasn't really that worried about that.
It's 3 weeks to go. It's not like it's a few days,
no,
you know.
But I still thought, what if something happens and so far away.
Yeah.
And I just, being in Stockholm was just like, that's just something we used to do together, these things, of course.
Yeah.
Here I am on my own. It's just silly.
Not the same.
No. So yeah, well, that was the Stockholm trip.
Yeah, it was just one night, but it felt long, you know, 2 full days.
Yeah, that's long.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, being in the house with the girls, you know, I can manage it, but up until the point if something goes wrong, then I'm like, you know, then I would just be stuck. If the electricity went out, I wouldn't know what to do, or, you know, anything like that. And I would be a bit stuck, so it was quite a relief that you were back. You know, or if one of the girls starts getting sick or something, you know, then I really need an extra pair of hands. But it all went fine.
Good. Good. So now you're in your week 37.
Yes.
So it can happen though any day now.
Yeah,
no?
it's classified as full term now, so it's not premature or anything like that.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if last week we talked about the breech baby.
Yeah.
But we never talked about what happened after that. That we went to the hospital, of course.
Yeah, we went to the hospital to turn the baby around because he was sideways and he needs to be head down. And then in the car on the way there, you know, it was like, some really, really uncomfortable movements going on. You know, there was like maybe 3 of them at some stage that really make you jump. And then we get to the hospital and the lady did a lot of tests first, tested my heart rate and the baby's heartbeat. And I sat on a machine, CTG, that measures if I'm having contractions and things like that. And she listened using this old school wooden earpiece, and she could hear the heartbeat really loud here. So she thought that the baby was still lying this way, and she let you listen. You said it was quite loud.
Well, no, I don't think it was loud, no.
Okay, no, but you could clearly
just about hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she tested, everything was looking fine. Then we went downstairs to do the actual procedure, and they put on the ultrasound. And then they could see that actually the head was down here. Yeah. So he'd actually turned by himself just on time, it seems. Yeah. So I didn't have to have any procedure done, nothing like that. Right. So that was quite a relief. I did feel a bit bad because, you know, of course, they've gathered together all the experts, the doctors and the staff and things like that to do this procedure. And they also get extra just in case something goes wrong. And I had an IV needle put into my arm in preparation. And
I was surprised by all that, why they didn't go for the scan first.
Yeah.
And do the scan, then start doing all your prep.
Yeah.
And make sure the baby is actually in the incorrect position.
Yeah. but no.
No, first sitting 20 minutes looking at that machine, which I think is anyway quite good to do.
Yeah, I think
to see the state of you. And what's going on with your body.
Yeah, she could see I was having some Braxton Hicks contractions, which are contractions where the body's preparing, but they're not painful. It's not a sign of labour or anything like that. So, yeah, at least...
This baby had turned himself.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I saw, she was scanning it, and I saw the head on the screen, a big screen, and then
massive screen.
I saw where the thing was, and it was there at the bottom. And I go like, I'm looking at the lady, I'm waiting for her to go, hey. And she looked at me, and then looked at you. The baby's turned. Like, yes. And I think a lot of the staff there, they work there anyway.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They didn't show up especially for you.
No, that's true.
I think that was one of the days that they were all there anyway. You know, so I don't think people came from all over the country.
Yeah, no.
Just for Caroline's
no, that's true.
A baby turning. So no, they were well happy for you, and me too. It was a huge relief because it's apparently a very uncomfortable thing.
Yes.
So great.
Yeah,
that's so funny because several people had said it. You know, they had stories of the baby was in breech position until the very last week, and then you know when it came, it had just turned in the last second to be born. It was just. So I was thinking about that when you were in the car going, he's never moved this much. And up.
Yep.
So that was nice. So we managed to get some shopping after that.
Yeah, we did. We got a bit of shopping after that. So we made use of our drive.
Yeah, bought some stuff for the cabin. Starting to prepare it for the Airbnb.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to do once I'm done with this trench. We've got 2 days we see now before it starts to freeze.
Yeah, before
every
the
day
weather
now.
really turns to winter.
Like now we still have warm during the day and frosty during the night.
Yeah, warm meaning like max 3, 5, something like that.
So it's not like it's defrosting like crazy, but the ground is soft and wet at the moment. So now it's going to turn in 2 days, and then it looks like it will be frost and barely over zero.
It won't melt after that.
No, so I've got now 2 days left to do this trench fill up. I've got the cable, everything is in place. The electric cable is now in place. I still need to dig it into the ground a bit more, put it in place so that it's kind of even, and it's got its own little channel. Fill up a bit, put this tape over it.
Yeah, and
then I shove everything over it.
Yeah, but you have to dig a little bit extra because even though we thought we had measured it and added a little bit extra, it turns out that this super expensive, really thick electrical cable was not long enough.
Not long enough.
55 metres and it still wasn't enough.
Still not enough.
So instead of coming along the house and going straight into the ditch, we have to sort of cut across the grass a little bit.
Do a little. It's only a little bit, luckily enough.
Yeah, like 2 meters maybe.
Worse would have been if I would have just had to go across the lawn and had to skip the whole trench. But lucky enough, I can take most of the trench, and it's the last 5 meters maybe that I have to take, and I think I just used the digger to go in.
Yeah.
Because with the pickaxe,
it's such a
why
job.
am I using a pickaxe if I can quickly come with the digger and make a good deep cut? Because that's as well with the pickaxe. It will be difficult to really go down half a meter.
Yeah.
Because I need some space to put warning tape as well over it, and to leave some space so that if you hit that warning tape, you're not immediately hitting the cable at the same time.
Yeah.
This is, with a cable like that, I certainly, from experience now, want to make sure that is safe.
Yeah.
You don't make that mistake in the future. So just going to prepare that. But even though it's going to be frosty at night, it's just below zero, just below freezing. So I don't think the frost will immediately settle deep into the ground. It will be the top layer, so it's okay with the digger. I can still shove the dirt back.
Yeah.
But once it starts snowing, I can have a problem because there's still rocks lying in the mud everywhere. And if I go with a snowblower over that and they hit, then... Well, I won't break the snowblower, but there will be a lot of bolts that I have to replace every time.
Yes, and there is a chance that you could break it.
Of course, if it's a big boulder. But I mean, I've hit big things, and normally that's what happens. It's just a small bolt that breaks so that the thing doesn't spin anymore, and so no further damage can be done. Yeah. So it's quite a good thing that way.
Like a fail-safe system.
But if you have a lot of rocks and have to replace a bowl every 2 meters, it will be a real pain in the cold. So we're going to try and clear that up in this week. It will have to be done. And then we can move on to the installation of the woodchip boiler. Yeah,
which is now inside the barn, but in the wrong room. It's just inside the barn. We need to...
It's too big.
Get it into the growing room somehow.
Yeah, it's too big to get into the growing room. You don't know?
Well, yeah, but then you said that you could take the auger part off.
Yeah, there's a screw, exactly. It's because of the screw. The auger, but I have to completely take that apart. I have to get inside of the box, which is filled with wood pellets. And so there's a few steps again involved before I can do it. And it's something I didn't want to do because you have to put it back. It's an older machine.
Yes.
What if I put it back in correctly, etc. So I'm going to contact the guy who we bought it from, who wants to help anyway put it into there. So maybe he's got more experience with that. But we also got quite a few plumbing bits, so I can start connecting the sheep water.
Yes, that would be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because they drink a lot of water with this dry hay.
They do, yeah.
I was going to take them out today to the fields. I could maybe graze a bit outside today.
Yeah, because I had to go twice while we were away and take watering cans of water. Obviously, I could only fill them like half full, and it was already heavy for me. But it's a pain to do that every day. Yeah,
so I was thinking of that in between the trench work, getting that
that would be awesome. Yeah.
It's very exciting. Look forward to that. Well, what next? We wanted to make we've been talking every week about putting segments in the podcast. And I've been thinking along the way, had a lot of time to think, but I couldn't come up with so much. I think could at least, like I said, find a story each that we can talk about, that we can put a segment. We talked about conspiracy segment, but it's gonna be tough, I think, with what we talk about a lot of the time. Our conspiracies. It turns into that kind of talk.
It goes quite far down the rabbit hole.
And so I thought maybe not a segment, it just happens naturally. But I don't know, you could do something like Idiots of the Week.
Meaning like somebody on the news, somebody at home, or... Yeah,
something ridiculous or... Well, but one thing that I did hear while scrolling through my phone, and I just looked up, which is true, and that is really crazy, is in Norway, the government is trying to mandate that cow farmers have to give their cows a chemical which will reduce their methane. What is it? Methane?
Gas.
Byproduct.
I don't know what you would call it.
Something that exhausts. Methane.
My brain's not.
Every time I ask you for English.
Don't ask me. I've got pregnancy brain right now.
Yeah, well, I don't think that matters with you in English when I ask you questions. About English, it never really works. Methane.
Fumes.
Exit.
Yeah.
Okay, reduces their methane fumes. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Your cows. And so that it will reduce their burping and farting.
Okay.
I mean, this
flatulence.
Sure. It is the most fancy word. It's the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, this is absolutely nuts.
Now I will, because I will read a little bit what I looked up, but let's read first what this thing really is. This is next door to us, the country next door to us. So in Norway, there is growing concern among farmers and consumers about the use of feed additives, specifically Bovaer, which contains 3-nitrooxypropanol, or 3-NOP, a chemical intended to reduce methane emissions from cows by decreasing their burping and farting. Farmers have raised alarms about the potential toxicity of Bovaer, citing risks such as skin and eye irritation, harm if swallowed, and possible damage to fertility or unborn children.
Oh my goodness.
Some farmers have expressed concern for their children's safety due to the need for personal protective equipment when handling the additive.
Oh my goodness. And we're supposed to eat these cows afterwards?
This is what's going to be shoved in your food.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
All for the sake of... We don't want to warm the climate, because that's now come out that by I think that the year has moved again to now it's 2040. If we continue the way we're going, the climate will be warmed by 2.8 degrees. It's exactly that. I mean, they've been predicting this stuff now for 55 years. None, I mean, zero of their predictions have come true.
Not even close.
Zero. Now, anybody is still believing this, you have to stop believing these people. They're charlatans. They're,
Yeah.
I mean, ooh. The Norwegian government plans to mandate the use of bovine. It's not even a choice, it's a mandate for all cows by 2027, so
My
2
goodness,
years, or
not that far
almost a
away.
year, with farmers facing the loss of up to nearly $90,000 in subsidies if they refuse to comply.
Wow.
Effectively forcing adoption. Exactly, that's how they get you. Or you want to play the game, no more subsidies for you.
Yeah.
And farmers need a lot of subsidies because of how expensive everything's become and how almost impossible it is to be a farmer. This policy has sparked controversy, with some farmers opposing the practice on ethical and health grounds, arguing that altering the cow's natural digestive systems is harmful and unnecessary. Messing with nature normally doesn't bode well. It hasn't really worked in the past for humans. Nature's the way it is.
Yeah, it's been like that.
Let it be.
Since millennia.
The additive was since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
The additive was initially marketed as climate milk, but sales were poor, leading to a shift where the additive is now being blended into regular milk without clear labeling. What?
Huh?
So they're feeding these cows milk.
Milk that's got it in it.
This has led to consumer backlash, with many choosing to boycott Tine, or Tine, I think. Okay, that's the company, I guess. Norway's largest dairy cooperative, and instead purchasing from smaller organic producers like Røros's Mejeriet, some kind of dairy, which does not use methane inhibitors. Critics argue that the move is part of a broader agenda to control food production under the guise of climate action, with concerns about long-term health and environmental impacts. The use of bovine is also being trialled in other countries, such as the UK by Arla.
Wow, Arla is a huge company.
We have the butter sometimes here.
Yeah.
Further fueling international concern.
Well, that just makes me want to get cows even more.
Oh man, there's no better time than now.
You don't even know what they're putting in the milk anymore.
They're just going to shove that stuff, which you have to handle with protective gloves and equipment, because it irritates the eye and hurts you when you swallow it. But let's shove it in our food. I mean, this is...
Yeah.
The world is going absolutely mental.
You can't make that up.
No, exactly. This is in the mainstream news. This was in the mainstream news. I was listening to the radio.
Yeah.
This is the general Swedish one. This is next door. We also have Arla products here.
Yep.
In fact, my Swedish teacher already said in the beginning that he doesn't buy Arla.
No, I remember that.
And I saw it pop up somewhere on a post on Instagram. Somebody saying, time to ban Arla. And I was like, why? I said, well, now I see why. That's insane.
Wow. That's like...
But if you don't do it, these cows... destroying the planet with their farts and their burps. These dangerous bastards.
Yeah, that's it. They're going to kill the whole of humanity.
I mean, the way these giant corporations are doing this farming, you can see it like in documentaries on the US and whatnot, where you just see brown areas with cattle packed in, their respective areas, but packed on top of each other nearly. It doesn't look great.
It does not.
And
no.
Getting fed grains and GMOs, which is allowed in the US.
No vegetation, completely destroying the earth.
I mean, I can understand. That is not a practical way, I would say, or a sustainable way of farming cows. Of course, there has to be a better way. But this is what happens. These are the big corporations. They have to demand because of things like McDonald's and other huge corporations like that just shoving out beef like crazy every day. And so there's as long as there's going to be demand for that, that's going to keep on happening as well.
Yes.
So it's good to see that people are, that there is at least an uproar about this.
Yeah.
Because where is it again? At some stage, you have to stop these people because they're just going to do what they want, and it's ridiculous what they want. Oh my God!
Yeah.
This is, like you say, cows, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
Next year. People say, some people, they're really. A lot of people are very impressed with what we do, and.
Yes, we get a lot of comments from people that know us and people that don't.
Yeah,
to say
you're so busy and you're constantly doing it, and it's true. We are really at it a lot. And some stage people are saying, there were some comments some stage, hey, but you should also enjoy what you've got, enjoy your family, which is true.
Which is fair enough, yeah.
However, there are certain reasons why we are pushing it. We are, of course, in the beginning stages of setting up this homestead, and the infrastructure needs to be put in place. Like people like Newton have said a lot that, once those things are in place, you are going to be able to just take a step back and enjoy things more. But before then, there are major concerns over things that need to be in place in case there are lunatics in this world that want to take away certain freedoms or possibilities, such as normal food, without crazy additives. You need to have a chemistry education to understand what's in your food these days. I just want beef to be beef. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. When you
grass-fed beef.
When you look at food these days, I was watching a few documentaries while you were away about food, and you just don't know what's in your food anymore. And they do it all really sneakily as well. Like before, if you saw E numbers, you would know, that's not so good, I don't want to buy that. But now, these additives, they rebrand them as something else that doesn't sound, it sounds all innocuous. No. But it's still something really, really bad. Yeah. And there's like over 30 words for sugar. So you don't know that actually you're consuming so much sugar and you don't even realise it. So, food these days is just, the quality of food is so bad. It is really it's bad. No wonder people are getting sick and...
there's just less and less nutrients in everything. Yeah,
exactly. And more chemicals that are attacking the body's immune system. Yeah, toxins
at the same time.
It's just not food, you know. So it really sparks a fire and motivates me to keep going with all this hard work that we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, so that we know what is going into our food, what's going into our bodies, what's going into our children.
Yeah, sometimes you need a reminder of why are we working this hard on getting there. Well, there you have it. Don't worry, the government will give you a reminder here.
Just in case you forgot. Yeah, check this out.
And again, I was just recently looking at, what was the word fascism? What is it? It is the corporation and the combining of a corporation and government in a simple way. But well, what is this? This is the government mandating something which will line the pockets of the people at this corporation, Tine, yeah, and I'm sure other corporations. That's fascism, really. That's the definition. Yeah, this is not Nazi salutes. It's this, and it's happening everywhere. That's all over the world. That corporations are in control.
Yes, and I was also looking, just to change the conversation ever so slightly, I was
from fascism,
looking at vaccines.
Oh yeah, that's our next favourite job.
And there was
subject.
this doctor, Eric Berg, I think it was, I saw a video of his on YouTube, and the title of the video was something like, vaccines don't cause autism.
Okay.
But YouTube has rules, and you can't say things that contradict mainstream science. No. But what the video actually says is that it's not the vaccine itself, but it's the aluminium that they put in the vaccines. And he shows a table of the number of vaccines that children under 6 get. In 1980, it was something like 9.
Okay, still quite a lot. That was quite much less.
Don't know when it was, like this year, last year, in the last 5 years, it was up to 46.
Okay, so this is including boosters and...
that you get before the age of 6. And he also has a column
Cocktail, they call it.
That shows the amount of aluminium that is in those vaccines. And it starts off 250 micrograms in the 1980s. And it's now 5,000.
Wow, okay.
Of aluminium, which is like one of the most deadly chemicals.
Yeah, it's...
elements on the planet.
It's known to cause autism and impair the neurologically, affect the neurological system. Same with mercury. They also have that in vaccines, which that is actually, I think, I don't know if it's the most poison. It's up there with the most poisonous thing known to mankind. Now, like you say, they're talking about micrograms, and it sounds like, oh, but that's so little. First of all, why is this needed? They say, because it guides the vaccination through your blood into where it needs to go. It's like, yeah, sure, make that shit up. It's a doctor, and then let's believe it.
It must be true if a doctor said that.
If you really look into this and keep asking questions, you'll find out that all these things are actually based all on theories. In the end, it's again another belief. But okay, besides that, there's not a belief about mercury, these chemicals actually doing damage to the body and actually being super dangerous, especially to kids, because they also impair hormones. So they will stop the hormones, which are extremely important for children, of course, to develop their bodies, their brains, etc., immune systems and whatnot, to develop. That's extremely important. And so when you say, well, these micrograms can maybe sound like very little, but the hormones that they have are even in smaller amounts in the body. These are very tiny amounts, yet extremely important for the development of a child. And so they get impaired very easily by what seems a very small amount of mercury, but it's actually a huge amount if you compare it to the size of hormones. It is absolutely mental that in this day and age where science rules the world, that scientists cannot see this, that they cannot grasp the fact that shoving mercury and aluminium into shit directly into your bloodstream is extremely dangerous. And people just... In a cocktail, and like you say, 48 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, are you trying to do it? One of the side effects being death. Yo, thank you, line me up.
Yeah, and parents, they just think, well, it must be good. I'm being a good parent. I'm protecting my child, giving them all the vaccinations under the sun, all the boosters. Yeah. But it's not the best thing for the child.
No, and especially, now we're talking about 2 ingredients. There is a huge amount of ingredients into vaccines if you start looking at it, which are sickening if you start looking at the list. Maybe that's a nice one for pulling up next time. We'll pull up the list.
Okay.
Story for next time. It's it certainly should put you off from taking any of this stuff. And then now, of course, since the COVID vaccinations that are not vaccinations by traditional standards at all, something completely different. I think a lot of more people have started to think like, well, what is this now?
Yes.
And started to take a step back from like, hey, what are we shoving into our bodies here?
Yeah, because you can still get it afterwards. You can still get
COVID.
That's
why then, they said the first one was going to make you safe. Oh, no, actually, you need a second one. And then everybody's safe.
There's a new strain.
Actually, you need a third one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, it's not working. Well, you come back every half a year now. So, that is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's amazing that people are still getting the vaccinations.
Yeah, it's pretty bad because it has seriously been starting to be linked as well with cancers and what's now turbo cancers that are coming on so quickly.
Yes.
And it's spreading like crazy.
And low birth rates.
Low birth rates. People, hospitals full of the people that have taken more, especially over 3 vaccinations. And look, my question is still to anybody, because we were talking about YouTube, the ban, or the things you're allowed to say on YouTube. Oh, guess who's back? David Icke. They actually allowed David Icke back on YouTube after 5 years. 5.5 years of being banned. Banned because he was talking about COVID.
Yes.
And what was he saying about COVID? That's, looking into it, doing research, that it was maybe not there at all. Maybe a way of controlling the people. And I must say to the people, if you want to look into that, I still ask the question, what happened to the flu?
Yes.
You look at the statistics. We have a flu every year. Every year comes first flu season, people have the flu, and then suddenly COVID came and flu was poof, zero. Gone.
Yep. Red flag, people.
Yeah, something you should maybe think about, you know, why is that? So, yeah, this man, he's back. I'm surprised he is. I really don't know why they're letting him back on YouTube now, at this time when the world has gone so mental that, you know, you're bringing back a man that is the best at connecting the dots. You know, you can think of what you want of the guy, but he is the best at putting things together and making you see something that, you know, has, you think, nothing to do with something else going on the other side of the world, or with a corporation, you know, doing something with a politician perhaps, and that's why a decision was made somewhere. He is... let's say the OG of that.
Yes.
And he is the dot connector.
And the proof is he's been doing this for now, what, 30 years? And stuff that he said 30 years ago has completely materialised exactly as he predicted it would.
Yeah.
You know, you can't dispute that.
No,
Check it out.
much.
Look at what he's been saying for decades.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is exactly what's happening.
Yeah, he mentioned the forced vaccinations 20 years before they started doing it with COVID.
Yeah, and chips in the human body and... social credits.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Like he's been saying, if you want to see the future of the West, look at China now.
Yeah.
The social credit scores over there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
same with the countries being taken over in the Middle East, and not because he is a how do you say that, a clairvoyant, because he knows, because he studies the people that are in power, that are actually saying what they're doing. If you actually read the books of the people that are in power, you can actually find out what their plan is, because they're actually not secretive about it a lot of the time.
Well, look at the WHO website. Isn't it the WHO or the WEF?
You will own nothing and be happy. Yeah, exactly.
They say it themselves. They want to take away people having ownership of their own house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the list is long. You can go again back to Peter Thiel, who was saying that, you know, the human race should maybe die out, you know. And he's not the only one. The Prince Philip has said it as well, that if he died, he would want to come back as a disease to lower the, you know, the population. Bill Gates has said in one of his TED Talks that he thinks that, you know, the population has to be lowered. He literally talked about killing off people, that it had to be done, and now he's doing it. He was doing it, in one way was through vaccinations. Yeah, you could actually find that on a TED Talk. That's crazy, you know. I mean, people that are in charge are saying these kind of things, because and in charge not by our choice, but exactly they're getting away with it because they have that much power, they have that much influence over politicians, over decision makers, or. Well, it can make the blood boil when you think about how evil these people are. Yeah,
I mean, that's a guy from tech, you know, and he ends up heading up a vaccination.
Yeah,
it's just...
He does it a lot via his foundation to make it seem like he's such a good guy. He said after selling his stock in Microsoft that he has never made as much money as he did with vaccinations. And he sold it just before COVID, of course. And suddenly there was you know, a vaccination straight away. It was already ready.
Yes.
This normally takes 20 years to develop, but no, they were ready. Yeah. Clinical trials were going to only last till 2023, but they knew it was safe already. Yes. Oh, that was amazing. And there you go, this guy making 5 times, he said, I think he made this thing up 5x straight away. Yeah. And that was in the beginning stages. And he's saying that everybody should take it. I wonder why. Well, because maybe he stands to make a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, now, believing the big pharma as well, the discussion once with a friend, it's hard to have discussions back in those days in the beginning, because if you start to talk about vaccinations, a lot of people immediately shut down and you're an anti-vaxxer, seen as a lunatic, you're on level with the flat earthers. It's like, look, if the earth is flat, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think so. I think the Earth is round. But you know what? At this stage, I'm not surprised anymore. If somebody tells me tomorrow that scientists have now discovered the Earth is flat, I'll be like, yeah, okay. It doesn't change much for me. It changes, of course, the way I look again at the people that have been telling us that it's round. Mm-hmm. But it's the same with that you're seen as a loony. Why? For questioning things? I think you're more sane than anybody for questioning things and looking into something yourself. And then people start to say, but you're not a doctor. Okay, well, let's look at what doctors do. What do? They study their whole life, yeah? And what is studying? They're just being told by somebody else who has been told again to repeat and repeat and repeat. Because if you do not repeat, you will fail that, you will not become a doctor. And so you have to do that to get a license. And after you've gotten that license, and this is, like I say, you've been told by professors who've also been told to repeat and to repeat since the whole thing called the germ theory, yes, it's called the germ theory, not the germ fact, became a theory in the first place back in the days of, what's his name, Pasteur?
Yeah, Louis.
And those kind of fellows. What was I going to say? Yeah, so they taught to repeat, and then once you finish your study, you become a doctor, you have to keep following the medical establishment and their papers. You have to keep being updated. Mm-hmm. If you don't do that, you also lose your license. And then, of course, if you're not selling the products, because that's what you're kind of a drug peddler at that stage for Big Pharma. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not pushing those pills of Big Pharma and you start to do something a bit alternative, you are again seen as they have the specific word for if you are a doctor who does something alternative. It slips the mind now. Not a cook, but we'll come to it if we don't think about it. However, these guys are. Then, you have to keep following that. Now, to give an example, during COVID in Luxembourg, there was a doctor. He was actually the GP of one of our good friends. And he was not...
Quack?
A quack. Thank you. You're seen as a quack. This is only a term used for people, doctors, who don't follow or no longer believe in what the mainstream, the medical establishment tells them, and tries to find a different way of healing people, as they have vowed to do so at the beginning when they swear on the oath of what is that guy?
Yeah, what's it called? Not the metabolic oath. What's it?
No, it was one of the guys. It was not not Pythagoras. Who was the guy? Archimedes. It was the guy who
Yeah, the Hippocratic Oath.
Hippocratic Oath. We got there. We got there.
We've got
one of those Greek guys.
Yeah.
I hope he's Greek now. Then I look silly.
It sounds
Maybe he was
Greek.
Latin.
Hippocratic. Yeah.
So he decided. Well, he had taken his oath, and when COVID hit, you were not allowed to visit anybody. People were completely, put under house arrest.
Yeah, they couldn't
for
help
doing nothing because
that were
exactly
sick.
They were not allowed to visit them, even the doctors, to go and help patients who were sick, which is their duty, which is what the oath they took when you want to be a doctor. So this guy decided, well, it's the oath I took. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go and visit patients. And after that, he also became against the vaccination because he said, you're giving this to kids, and you don't even know what's in it. This is not an usual vaccination, It's not been tested. It's not gone through the clinical trials. And when he started saying that, of course, the government wanted to shut him down. Now, they couldn't shut him down for what he was saying, but what they did manage to do is shut him down for what he did. And then they said, because you, during the COVID lockdowns, went and saw your patients, you will lose your medical license.
Yeah,
that's how they took away his medical license after, they went to court and everything. And there was quite a few... how do you say, protests about it as well from people. But I think they managed to take it away, or maybe they just they stopped him from being a doctor for a year or something.
Yeah, he was on
I wonder if he came back. I never heard. I was wondering, maybe asking our friend what happened to that. But this is
suspended. That was it.
Suspended. This is the the pressure you deal with as a doctor. So you are, of course, going to So the doctors really that you're following in the end are people that are just pushing the chemical-based drugs, that medication that can maybe deal with, a symptom.
Yeah.
However, not with the underlying problem, and then with a whole range of side effects that normally then gets solved with another pill and another pill, which all have their own side effects and all build up in the system and all break down your immune system, which just makes you more sick. And thus you need to be on this healthcare for the rest of your life and giving the money to the companies that are what they're living off. That is, companies are not there to make you better. No. Otherwise they would not make money, of course. What is a company? It is economically based. It needs money to live. It has investors, and those investors want to see a return on their money, and that's how it works. If they don't, then the company is not doing a good job. It's purely what it is. It's money. So are healthy people going to give them money? No. You started with the vaccinations.
Yeah. No, that was a good wee rant there.
Yeah, definitely. I did a lot of research myself at the time. I was already against vaccinations in general. I myself was vaccinated from when I was born.
Yeah, ditto.
So am I then an anti-vaxxer?
Well, you didn't have any choice at the time.
No.
I still remember, like it was yesterday, lining up at school to get the BCG. What was it? BCG. Measles, mumps, and rubella was one. And there was kids crying their eyes out because it's painful, and I remember. But you didn't have any choice. It's just what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just what everybody did.
Yeah, exactly. You think everybody does it, so that's what we do. Yeah, no thinking going on. It's just following the crowd, and like you say, it's mostly people that just want to do good for themselves, for the kids.
They think that they're doing the right thing,
Because if you don't do it, granny dies, like they were saying, go get your jab, otherwise you infect your granny and she dies. Like, come on. Where's the proof of that? Not in the history of mankind has it ever been observed that one person, they've tried putting sick people next to healthy people. Never has it been observed that even by this person coughing in the healthy person's face that any germs are transferred, these so-called germs that are so dangerous, that because you also have the good germs. That's a very confusing thing. Suddenly they're good, suddenly they're bad. They can come in and then make you ill. This has never actually ever been observed or proven that this is the case. All the things that you hear about are done in labs under very unnatural circumstances.
Yeah, they do it with monkeys, but what they do is they actually take out an injection from one monkey and insert it into the other monkey. So it's not even like controlled circumstances.
They actually injected, they took out bad cells from a monkey and injected it in.
And then they say, oh, look, see, it affected the other monkey.
Which was that again?
I can't remember.
It was for one, I think, was it the HIV? No, it was some kind of vaccination. Polio, I think. Oh, they tried to prove, that was then the proof
that it was contagious.
This was contagious and that this had to be a vaccination to cure it, to stop the spread. What spread? You're spreading it.
Yes.
Muppets.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
And then everybody believes it, of course, because that's what doctors are saying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's then the proof. And it's, very difficult, of course, to go back into, because then people say, well, how were certain diseases then exterminated? How did they not exist anymore?
Well, people started washing their hands.
Smallpox. Exactly. And being more understandable of not throwing your shit out onto the street, out of your window onto the streets, having, wider alleys as well, not buildings that are this close on top of each other. Better sewage systems and waste management and exactly personal hygiene. there's a huge list of why certain diseases are no longer coming back. Not just vaccinations. It's not every time there's a new illness, and you see it in the Hollywood films, of course. All these outbreak movies.
Yeah,
it always ends with, thank God they found the vaccine. The world has been saved. It's the only way. Yeah.
It's so true.
Okay, well.
Okay, that was a good chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I quite enjoyed it, that one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think it's also because something we've dealt with a lot and looked into a lot.
Yes.
To try and make our own, informed decision.
Yeah.
So I think with a few other things that we've been talking about, we're a bit like, oh, okay, yeah, well, that's all I know.
Yeah.
So I think this was also interesting, finding a story that we care about. That's why we do the food. So, it kind of it melted the healthy food and the climate nutters in one, and the outcome is this. Absolute insane mandate coming from a government.
Insane. Injecting cows with chemicals.
Oh my God.
That you're not even supposed to touch and ingest.
Yeah, because it has these known side effects of infertility and damage to unborn children. Well, then we should definitely give it to the cows, because of the earth being on fire. So hard. It's so sometimes, that's why I don't watch the news often, because I already know what they're going to say. Every time it will be a mention of the climate, something is happening because of the climate.
Yes.
Now we have to do this because of the climate. If there's not one day that goes by that it's not mentioned.
Yeah.
The fear mongering is so strong in that one.
Yeah, and if you don't, then it's like, oh, but you're destroying the climate.
Yeah, do you not care?
Yeah, you're causing a problem.
I absolutely care about climate change. Absolutely, it changes all the time. And that's what I'm trying to live with, But on the other hand, I would like to talk about the environment, because the climate, these people, they can say it, but again, there is not real evidence behind it. They keep saying it. Oh, they all met, all these experts. What experts? And where are these climate numbers coming from? From computers. Computers whose numbers have to be input, computer programs, sorry, whose numbers have to be input by humans. So in the end, this is still just humans that can make up anything they like.
Yeah, put in the numbers that give the result they want.
Exactly, and then say something. The world, and it is really like being part of a cult, I was thinking yesterday. Because this is all the cults do all the time, no? A lot of them. The world will end.
Yeah.
Take the Kool-Aid before it happens. I wonder that this is almost what they're saying. No? A lot of people do believe that now. Don't have kids, because what's the point? The world's going to end anyway.
Yeah.
I can see why, because you're being driven nuts by it. It's not a day that, try anybody, just see if you can go a day without hearing about freaking climate change.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and then that will be a really good day. I'll be impressed if you can.
It's in songs, it's on the news, it's on the radio, it's in films.
Yeah.
It's on labelling, it's...
Yeah, exactly, labelling.
Food packaging.
What did I see? Today. It was yesterday at the burger joint here, the Swedish, the Max. Max, sitting there, you come inside and you have to do the computer screens. Now you can't order at the counter anymore. Back in the good old days. Then the computer screen, and then you go, this burger, okay, that burger, okay, this one is plant-based beef. I said, already, okay, don't trust that anymore. Next one, okay, this one is organic. Fuck, no, it's not. Next one, sorry for the bad language. And then the next one is, this one is CO2 neutral or something like that.
Yeah.
Here we go again, there you go. Almost went a day without, no, of course not, I'd heard on the news already. But it is everywhere like that, even at your burger joint. I don't know, like, was the truck that delivered this stuff driving on unicorn farts, people? How is that CO2 neutral?
Yeah.
Somebody delivered it somewhere in clothes that were probably made from petrol, which also had to be delivered somewhere with a truck that probably wasn't CO2 neutral. No way is any of this bullshit CO2 neutral.
Because even if it's an electric vehicle, an electric truck, to get that electricity produced in the first place, usually burns fossil fuels, people. So...
I had another good news, actually, which is a shame that we sold our uranium stocks, but in Sweden has they have restarted one of their nuclear power plants again. Because they had 5, I think, and they had all been shut down.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in one of the previous...
No, this was just on the news yesterday.
Okay.
They had literally started yesterday, or 2 days ago.
Yeah, because I saw, we talked about it a little bit, not the last podcast, but the podcast before. I had seen it come by where Sweden had changed their ethos on the whole nuclear energy in the first place.
Yeah.
And they had signed letters of intent or something to open up these nuclear plants that had previously been shut down.
Okay.
And they changed their mind since the 80s or whenever it was.
Yeah, you were talking about the SMRs. This one is an existing nuclear power plant, the main one. SMRs are the small modular reactors, and this one is the main one. Anyway, just
Maybe
because we're talking about fossil fuels and all this. Fossil fuels, that's also another thing. It's a funny thing that that oil only comes from fossils. So from all the ancient bones that are in the ground are creating all this oil. It doesn't seem right, you know, because then certainly we should have been like finished, because why are we then drilling oil from depths where there are no fossils? Fossils are only going to a certain depth in the earth, but oil's being drilled like way deep, and in some stages from the freaking ocean all the way down. Yeah. Very deep below the surface of that.
That's a good question.
So, fossil fuels?
It's a thinker.
Doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Okay, well, on that note...
Yes.
I think it's time to work on this trench. I don't want to try to extend that. It's nice and cozy inside.
It is.
But to be honest, it's not that cold.
It's actually not that bad outside. It's not raining today, and it's not grey. It's been really grey the 2 days that you were away. And
I just got to get going, and then once I'm out there...
once you're out there, you get into it.
Exactly. I'll be really, really happy when this is over and I can move on from this trench digging. So I best just do it. And like I said to you, every day if I just do a little bit, then before I know it, it's done. It's just because there's so many other things going on all the time. I can't do them all at the same time.
No, but the weather's closing in. Winter's coming.
This has to be done.
It needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Good chat.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope you enjoyed it. It made you think a little bit. And,
and please do write comments. Happy to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah, only good comments. You can write whatever you want. Yeah, all right.
Okay. See you next time.
See you next time.